And hello. Welcome to Rigo's Roundup. Here we are back again by popular demand, the number one fantasy football content for the Iron Throne Fantasy Football League. We will go over some ups and some downs for different teams this week. Let's go ahead and start off with the league overview and take a look at the most recent week's matchups. So we'll go ahead and go down the list here with Board Ape Football Club dominating the Dark Horse, bringing the Dark Horse to a 1-3 record. Still salvageable, still early in the season. 2-2 Board Ape Football Club, who has been ridden with injuries, has been able to really rise to the challenge and maintain a 500 record, which is not easy. Most managers would not have been able to maintain this level of performance. Now, we do have the autumn win scraping in their 4-0 win, undefeated, second place in the league with that record due to being a lower scoring team. As you can see, they were able to win with a 109 point production last week. Their opponent 72.98. Now, every single team that won last week would have beat the autumn win, including two teams that lost. As long as I beat Roberts and McChampion, would have also beat the autumn win. Almost every single team in the league last week would have beat the autumn wind. So Bell of the Ball's got some work to do, but still a 3-1 record, so they are sitting pretty. Alex's team, 4-0, first place, put up a whopping 149 points against the As Long As I Beat Roberts, a respectable 118 with the 1-3 record. They are not out of this just yet. Alejandro's team, though, getting close to that. 0-5 is a tough thing to come back from. So they're 0-4 currently. They are still in it. 10th place in the league, last place. But I will say I have made playoffs after an 0-5 start in the past. So they are not out just yet. Ruggs, Dubs, Marquitos with the win. A solid 146.46 points. Almost would have beat Alex's team there, just 3 points away. So 2-2, like I said, good record, fifth place there, just ahead of Board Ape Football Club. And then the final matchup of last week was the Hertz Locker, putting up 182 points, highest score of the week against McChampion, a 131.32 point production week for McChampion. 0-4, unfortunately, after their best performance of the season. Let's go in and dissect each team a little bit closer here. Starting off with the Dark Horse and Board Ape Football Club. Going through the Board Ape Football Club's team, Josh Allen did underperform a little bit with a 24.52 points. Garrett Wilson, 5.1. Going to have to make sure to play the right. Let's show the benches as well. The right players there. Stephon Diggs, not too good. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, this has been one of the best pickups of the season. If we take a look here at the running back rankings for half-point PPR for the season, we would see Clyde Edwards-Helaire at a solid number 4 for the season across all teams. Fantastic production there. Going to be a long-term hold there. Let's see what else we have. Darren Waller underperforming again. Ramondre Stevenson, 10.9, solid production there. Antonio Gibson, not too much. DJ Metcalf coming to life with 18.4. Minnesota kicker, a solid 18 points. Talk about a good game. Chicago D, nothing to write home about. Now, if we go ahead and take a closer look at what the Board Ape Football Club is dealing with here. Alvin Kamara out. Julio Jones, questionable, coming back from injury. Only 1.2 points there. Elijah Mitchell out. Brian Robinson Jr., the rookie for Washington, making a return. He has been cleared to play after getting shot in the preseason multiple times in the leg. It was touted that he would actually be taking the role of Antonio Gibson. We will see how that goes. Dubs looks to be the number one receiver in Green Bay, 11.2. Great waiver pickup there. although he was outperformed by Lazard last week with 116 yards, a little bit the points left on the bench there. As you look towards the dark horse here, T. Higgins was the lone bright spot. Lamar Jackson didn't do much. Pittman, Ayuk underperformed. Najee Harris, what are you doing there, buddy? James Robinson, only 2.9 points. But if we look closer at the stats, James Robinson is actually number 12 for the season. So a down game for him, but still a good player to have on the roster. We'll see if he comes good next week. George Kittle, 3.4 points for the draft capital you paid there. He's not giving you much of a return. And I'll be honest, Hollins, I'm not even familiar with this player. Way to throw him out there. Would have been better putting in a second tight end with Garrett Everett there. Josh Dotson, and it's not Josh actually. What's his actual name? It is a name that is not Jahan Dotson. 11.8 points. Godwin is back in the lineup. Brady throwing over 330 yards last week. So looks like he could be a key player for Eddie going forward. Singletary, 9.6. Not too much, not too little. Good steady, which you would expect for a player like Singletary in that pass-heavy offense. Keenan Allen was out. Better days ahead for the Dark Horse. If we go to the next matchup, the autumn wind, bell of the ball. I believe this was the lowest scoring game of the week. Herbert, 21.1 points, solid production. Derrick Henry may have been the number one running back of the week. I would have to double check that. But he's actually number 7 for the season. Amari Cooper, 1.4 points. Rashad Bateman, 3.2 points. I've spoken with the manager of this team. I let them know that their players are going to have good weeks, but you need some higher floor. These guys are going to have these kind of bust weeks. So if you're expecting solid production from them each week, you're going to be a little bit left short there. Now, Joe Mixon, 15.4 points. Not bad, but he's actually averaging under half yard after carry, the worst in the league. His running actually looks horrendous. So we'll see what happens there. But Mixon not looking like he did last season. Dallas Goedert, 9.7 points, not bad. Ezekiel Elliott still in that season-long battle with Pollard. They're not really getting too much production out of him. James Conner, 9.2. Really nothing here that is there to be happy about. Corey Davis on the bench, 15.9 points. With the solid pickup, though, off of the waiver, Rashad Penny, I'll be honest, I did not see Penny on the bench. Starting running back for the Seattle Seahawks, 28.2 points. Good job picking him up. Not smart not playing. And Daniel with the bold move of actually having an extra defense on the bench. Now, it's not very common for teams to hold multiple defensive teams on their roster. So we'll see if that in the long run is going to be the right choice. The bell of the ball, Joe Burrow. Actually, let's take a look at Burrow. He's actually lighting up the score lines this season. If we go to the QB rankings here, I believe he's top 7. Joe Burrow, number 8 this season so far, right behind Justin Herbert. So we'll see if he can keep that up. Jalen Waddle will see better days. Tua Tagovailoa, I can't say his name, did go out with a concussion this game, leading to a little bit less production from the receivers. Smith last week, blow-up game this week, came back down to earth. Jonathan Taylor did roll his ankle. The x-rays did come back negative, so he is day-to-day still questionable on if he will play this weekend, but only 2.8 points for the number 1 overall draft pick. Not really cutting it there. And if we go back to his season-long ranking, the number 1 overall draft pick, that's not good. 21. Oof. Well, we'll see if he can make good rest of the season. Tony Pollard, 1.3 points. Really nothing good except for Nick Chubb, who is actually the number 1 running back in the league. DJ Moore, a smart move on the bench. You want to make sure that he's going to be productive. Baker Mayfield looks like the worst quarterback in the league, so really tough to play him, but 9.1 points, not too bad. Olave. Surprising bench here considering Michael Thomas was out along with Alvin Kamara. Definitely could have used that 14.7 points. And Pacheco actually looked like he was running hard this week. So we will see how that shakes out. As a number two, he may be overshadowing Jerick McKinnon as the backup for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the number 4 running back in the league again. Let's see here. We have Alex's team, the number 1 team in the league. Kyler Murray, 20.37 points. Or excuse me, that was his projection, 23.8 points. Cooper Kupp looks like the only target Matt Stafford sees, putting up a solid 19 points there. Mike Williams, great pick, looking good. Saquon Barkley, what a pickup that is. Number 2 running back in the league. Miles Sanders also having a great game for himself. Value pick, 28.6 points. Number 8 running back in the league. Travis Kelce, 19.7 points. This team was just oozing points aside from this London Atlanta receiver. It'd probably be best to stay away from any Falcons for the time being. Christian Kirk, 7.3 points. Now, surprisingly enough, if we take a look here, Christian Kirk, number 7 wide receiver for the season. So take a look at that, folks. You did not read that wrong. He is number 7 so far through 4 weeks. Dallas D, actually, back-to-back solid weeks, 10 points. Josh Jacobs on the bench, ran hard all game long, 32 points on the bench for the number 1 team in the league. Chase Edmonds, another solid running back option on his bench. Really feeling not bad. I mean, Alex has got quite the team built here. We'll see. Oh, Human Dortch, 1.1 points. We'll see if he keeps him through the week. As we go to the As Long As I Beat Roberts, Derek Carr, Aaron ran with him again. Did not come out swinging this week. Justin Jefferson, though, did. 26 points. Very nice production. Devontae Adams, keep him rolling. He's actually number 9 wide receiver this season. Damien Pierce finally came good. Ran hard, had a 75-yard touchdown run. Looking good. The rookie is coming to play and finally getting fed by the Houston Texans. Aj Dylan, mediocre week, 8.9 points. Zach Ertz, 13.7 points. As I was reviewing the players this week, I did notice, if we take a closer look, Zach Ertz, number 4 tight end across all tight ends in the league. Gabe Davis made a return, only 1.8 points. Cordero Patterson, 9.8 points, but unfortunately did have a procedure yesterday, will be placed on the IR, designated to return. Aaron, make sure to bench Cordero Patterson and put in a replacement. Russell Wilson, though, did have a nice little game, 26.9 points. And Aaron actually has what looks like 3 quarterbacks here. So we have Daniel, 2 defenses, Aaron, 3 quarterbacks, and bold moves, bold play, and really nothing else to note here on Aaron's team. Alejandro and Ruggs Doves. Let's take a look at the last place team in the league. We have Tom Brady having a nice little game with 25 points, which is almost 30% of Alejandro's points here. Jamar Chase, only 10 points. T. Higgins looking to outperform Jamar Chase this season. If we take a look at the rankings here, T. Higgins, number 12, wide receiver in the league in a 12-team league. That'd be a number 1 receiver. Jamar Chase, number 15. Pretty close there. Joe Burrow has a lot of good weapons. CeeDee Lamb averaging over 91 yards when Cooper Rush plays per game. So Dak Prescott sounds like he can't grip a football. He won't be back next week. So another Cooper Rush week for the Dallas Cowboys next week. CeeDee Lamb should look to score well again. 18.7 point solid production. David Montgomery, 0 points. He was actually out this week. So, yeah. Well, should have benched him. Okay, Mark Andrews, only 2.5 points there. Lamar Jackson did not have a good day, so neither did Mark Andrews. Michael Carter, 3.9 points. Breece Hall would be the back you want in that backfield. So keep an eye there. Allen Robinson, another poor performance. He's almost looking like he's droppable at this point, since Matt Stafford seems to only throw to Tyler Higbee and Cooper Kupp. Kareem Hunt, 7.8 points, did not get in the end zone. He is touchdown dependent, but you keep him rolling. If we take a look at his bench, Dobbins back from injury this week, looking good, looking like the player you want to roll out week by week. 20.3 points. Definitely get him in for David Montgomery next week. Aside from that, not too much. David Njoku actually on the bench here. I noticed. Well, you have Mark Andrews. You can't really bench Mark Andrews, but Njoku, sneaky little tight end late round pick, who's actually the number 11 tight end this season so far. So he's actually performing acceptably. Nothing else to note there. Although Naheem Hines, we'll see what happens here with Jonathan Taylor this week. He may be one you want to roll out next week. They did also say if Taylor doesn't play, Phillip Lindsay would get some run as well. If we take a look at Marcos's rug dubs, Patrick Mahomes, 24 points. Mike Evans, multi-touchdown game, 26.3 points. Love to see it. Deontay Johnson, not so much. Aaron Jones did have a good game. Didn't even get to the end zone. Still put up 13 points in this win over the New England Patriots. Dalvin Cook really not putting up the Dalvin Cookish numbers you would expect to see. Dalvin Cook is actually... forgive me here. I kind of want to take a look because I was expecting big things from Dalvin Cook. Number 24 running back through 4 weeks. Yeah, he's got to pick it up there. Jamal Williams. What a pickup. What a play. Great play here. DeAndre Swift was out. Jamal Williams, 2 touchdowns, 108 rushing yards, 23 points. And if you go back here, number 3 running back in the league with DeAndre Swift, number 18. So no one would have expected that, but Jamal Williams looking good. Marcos, another solid choice, playing Khalil Herbert, the backup running back for the Chicago Bears, knowing David Montgomery was out. I guess his opponent did not see that move, or else he would have had the wherewithal to bench him. Brandon Cooks finally getting in the end zone, putting up some production as a number 1 wide receiver in Houston, 15.2 points. Tyler Lockett, another solid game. Tyler Lockett is quietly having himself a solid little season with Geno Smith really outperforming all expectations. Tyler Lockett, if we take a look here, I was expecting him to be higher up. Number 31. Okay, well, excuse me. That's a good wide receiver 2-3 area there. Okay, nothing else there. Melvin Gordon had a couple fumbles. One recovered, so you only see one here. But if we do know, Jamal Williams is out for the season with a torn ACL, as well as another injury. I'm not sure, but he's done. So Melvin Gordon looks to be the starter in Denver going forward. And finally, the Hurts Locker and McChampion. The top scoring team, Hurts Locker. Jalen Hurts, 16 points only, which looked like I thought he had a better game than that. Although Tyreek Hill, solid outing, 20.9 points. A.J. Brown, 12 points. Austin Eckler finally coming through with a couple of touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, 31 points. What a display. Leonard Fournette, got snaked for a touchdown by White, actually. They were on the 1-yard line, finally handed off the ball, and they did not give it to Fournette. If you look here, Fournette, I believe, actually had -3 rushing yards the entire game. The Tampa Bay Bucks did not run the ball. I believe total they had 3 rushing yards in the entire game. T.J. Hawkinson, 35 points, 2 touchdowns, 179 yards. Wow. What a performance. Jared Goff actually looking like a quarterback reborn. We have Curtis Samuel, 5.8 points. Not the best outing. Really had a chance to staple himself as a top sleeper here, but still ranked 16 in the league for someone you picked up off the waiver. You can't be mad there. Again, Breece Hall, 14.8 points to get into the end zone. And the kick, wow. Carlson, 14 points. And the Eagles defense, 15 points. Jerry Jeudy, 13 points to get a touchdown. And Harris looking like a good running back here, 14.9 points. pretty solid floor for him. And Jeff Wilson Jr. did get a touchdown last night as well on Monday night. As we look at McChampion, Kirk Cousins really not doing it this season. Not looking good. Deebo Samuel had a touchdown last night for the ages. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Number 5, Jalen. I can't think of the defender's name. Big mouth, but made him look bad. Good game for Deebo Samuel. Carlos Sutton, 13.7 points. Not bad. Christian McCaffrey, number 22. The man, the myth, couple touchdowns there. One touchdown there, excuse me. I thought he had 2. Reception, maybe I was mistaken. Oh, he did have reception. Williams, oh, poor Robert, having to see his starter running back get taken out for the season. Tyler Higbee, not a bad game with 12.3 points. Marquise Brown, 17 points. And Mooney finally having a little bit of production there. 94 reception yards, had a long reception, couldn't bring it to the end zone, but only 4 catches. So we'll see if that's just lightning in a bottle. Aside from that, really nothing going on this bench. A lot of zeros. Pickens, 13 points there, but aside from that, easily forgettable. So as we move into review of the matchups for this week, let's take a look at what we have cooking, and we'll go ahead and end it after that. Week 5, we have Board Ape Football Club against As Long As I Beat Roberts. Will Aaron go 2-3? Will I go 3-2? We will see. We have Ruggs Dub Marcos against the Autumn Wind. Marcos projected to win here by a couple points. We'll see how that works out. Next up, we also have the Dark Horse versus the Belle of the Ball. 1-3 versus reverse 3-1. Looks like Dark Horse projecting to win that battle. The number 1 team, Alex's team, versus the Hertz Locker, number 3 team. Going to be a matchup there. The highest projected teams here. And first place, Alex, still looking to win that by 4 points. We'll see if those projections are accurate. And finally, the battle of all battles. The 0-4 Alejandro's OK team versus the 0-4 McChampion. We will have one less defeated team by the end of this week. Who will show up to play? Now, Alejandro's team is projected to win this, but again, if we look at McChampion, he still has his injured running back in projected 0 points. It's going to be a good one, folks. We'll see how week 5 plays out. Let's go, Marcos. Take it home. Do it for all of us, and we will see you all next time.